Yeah, that was the rough draft.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well,
I'm not even paying attention.
yeah, well, helps when you hit record, right? I was talking to standby.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying. I knew you were talking.
Yeah. Hey, folks, Steve here. How you doing? Part 2. I did this once before, but I was on standby, so let's hit record and see if we can't get this for posterity's sake. So today, one more time here, today, Jen and I are going to be taking this these two boxes here. It's a kit, and that kit is right there. It's a 2-part spray foam kit, and we are going to be foaming our insulation in this area here in order to, really kind of seal it up. So we're getting our PPE around, making sure that we're all safe and ready to go because of fumes and all this kind of stuff. So let me show you what I got. All right, so this is the room we've been working on, got put back. And when we pulled up the floor, all 5 layers of floor, there was nothing to save, so I've rejoisted everything here, which is great because, I was able to do everything. So everything's really cool. But as we look down into the pit here, so you can see down in there, pit's anywhere from 3 to 5 feet deep, depending on where you're standing in this area. We're roughly, I think, 16 by 12. So we have laid rock wall all the way around the outside perimeter. All right. And back this way a little bit. And that laid rock wall, there's just a lot of chinks that you can actually see daylight, or at least you can feel some breeze coming through. So the idea is that, yes, we're going to get some R value out of this foam, but more so than anything, I'm just trying to seal some stuff up with a foam that doesn't have a huge expansion factor like great foam and other things like that. So I'm not going to force any of these rocks apart. I just want to seal them up. Okay, well, I'm going to go get geared up. This is one of those things where I've helped on a job twice doing something similar to what we're doing here. But I was just kind of the helper. So for me, this is the first time around. I've read the instructions a couple times, read them out loud once just to make sure. And so I think I'm, pretty well in tune and ready to go with this. But it's one of those things, once you start, you can't really stop easily. There is a process. If you stop for longer than 30 seconds, you got to really react. And there is a way to close down and come back within 30 days and kind of pick up where you left off if you wanted to, as long as you haven't run dry of this kit. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, well, I'm going to get all geared up and get ready to go. All right, so I guess the red has a stripe.
That's the red stripe goes to the red blue paint. That's the red goes to the blue paint.
Okay. Got the red attached, so I'm attaching the white.
Tighten those fittings with just provided, do not over tighten.
Okay.
Fully open valve on both sides, slightly different to spout.
Counterclockwise.
Then close the carton. Always press foam and this cylinder in upright position. Do not pull or lift the cylinder by hoses.
All right, so good to go there. All right, so now we got to purge the air, get a good stream out of this, and then after that I have to wipe this off, lubricate that O-ring with grease that they provided, then put the tip on, practice a little bit with the tip, and then we're rocking and rolling. Looking through these things is problematic. I could not gauge the fact that the first coat is supposed to be a 1/2 inch, and so I'm very inconsistent with my first coat. A 1/2 inch wet equals 1 inch foam once it's cured, and you have to wait 15 minutes before you go back. So I'm probably about 5 or 6 minutes away from being able to do that. I'm going to switch to the thin tip, and that'll allow me, I hope, to get into the chinks of all that rock in there, which is what we're trying to seal. So this coat will be about that. It may take a little bit longer, but I only have half the room to do, really.
And then after that, we'll hit it with, not this one, but another big tip again, and give another pass. So that's the plan. Right here. You go up.
Hey folks, how you doing? Well, being in that Tyvek suit is a warm situation with that respirator on and everything, but it worked out really well. Glad we had the PPE, and Jen was instrumental in everything that she was able to do. Plus, she was able to do some filming, which was really cool, because with luck, the hose is long enough to where, more or less in the center, I could reach everywhere around without having to move the canisters. Last time I did this, it was a huge basement. We did all the walls, and I was the canister guy, so I kept moving the canisters along with Carl, who owned the places, and he was spraying. So this was fun. This was, you know, I understand the learning curve, and I'm okay with that. There's a lot of cool technique. I'd have to watch more videos if I wanted to go into this for a living. But it all worked out well. Let me show you what I got. Here's what I have. Get right down in there. See? Pretty thick, all the way down through. This corner over right in here, this was the major issue, and it was the air sink. That's where we had a lot of air gaps at. And that's all sealed up. You can see all the way around through in there. Even on the interior wall, and all the way through here, right to that corner again. Very cool. Very happy to do this. It has to be 100% better than it was with all the air gaps. I'd be surprised if we had an air gap, but even if we do, it'd be one, not a gazillion. On that side over there, that outside wall, we did have a lot of air gaps there, which was also in part because of the masonry. You know, that was an undisturbed wall, but we had air gaps over there. So, really cool. Tomorrow, this all gets reinstalled underneath, and I'll buy some big washers at that point, fender washers or something like that, and then I'm going to screw all this up in there. And then we're going to use rolled insulation in the pockets and get that all sealed up, and then it's ready for subfloor. After the subfloor's in, all of these stud pockets get furred out. We're going to pick a number, and we're going to fur out everything in the one we can stand on the floor. It'll be easy to fur all this out. I'll set my table saw right up in here, rip furring strips as needed to make all this happen. This was cool. This was cool. All right, well, there you go, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. It's not a how-to. It's just I did it. And I would do this again. It's nothing to be afraid of. And I learned a new skill. Awesome. Y'all have a good day, because I know you deserve it. If you would, and if you haven't, please like and subscribe. Have a good one.